Before we begin today's episode, we wanted to give a special thank you to our newest patron, Charlie Mudd. We also wanted to give a quick content warning that there are sound effects of guns in this episode.
It had been almost a week now since we arrived in Indonesia. Reported sightings and attacks from a flock of mysterious flying creatures had continued, despite our best efforts to track them. We had actually found some cryptids, but not the ones we were after. We were trying to handle the situation before it got out of hand. Unfortunately, we were too late. They had finally killed someone.
Damn it! Are we sure a cryptid is behind this one? We've been wrong before.
Well, I can't say for sure, but it seems pretty likely. First of all, the cause of death is being reported as an animal attack, and there were no witnesses.
That doesn't mean much. Any animal could be behind it.
Their body was also found on the roof of a 4-story building.
Oh. Yeah, that does sound a little more relevant to our mystery flying creatures. Ugh, I'm sick of just calling these things mystery creatures. What else did you say it might be?
Since it wasn't the orang bati, I think the second most likely choice would probably be the ahul.
Okay, let's just call them ahul for now. Are there any particularly important ahul legends?
Yeah, let me find... Here we go. Their name is supposedly onomatopoeic from the sound of their cry. Ahoo! Like the orang bati, it's usually described as a large bat-winged creature with either a bat-like or ape-like head and large claws. Said to have a wingspan almost 30 feet long, and they primarily eat fish. There's a lot of overlap with the orang bati in their general supposed territory, but the ahul skews slightly more to the west. As for sightings, a guy named Ernest Bartels, a naturalist, saw a giant bat fly overhead in 1925, and then 2 years later, he didn't see it, but he heard a creature, and it apparently sounded like ahoo. That's about it, though.
That's not much, but it's not nothing. Faulkner, you got any good ideas?
Actually, yeah. The body was found on top of a building. All these attacks have happened in towns, not out in the woods.
Oh my god, of course!
What?
All the sightings have been in populated areas. That's where we need to focus our efforts.
Oh, wow. Duh. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're attracted to the lights or something?
Maybe. Or it could be as simple as they've lost their own territory. Wild animals end up encroaching on cities all the time nowadays.
So, with this new perspective, we went back to the drawing board. There was still a question of where to look, though.
So, cities are a good place to start, but we can't just pick randomly again.
Actually, I had another idea.
And?
I've been keeping track of all the reported sightings so far.
I know.
Well, I tried something different. We thought the sightings were all random, but there is a pattern, sort of.
Really?
Yeah. So instead of putting all the sightings on one big map, I've marked up a separate map for each day. The sightings have been occurring all over the place, spread out, but look, the overall spread is moving east, more or less.
Okay, good. This is good.
In that case, let's get to the next town in their path.
My thoughts exactly.
We drove about an hour to reach the closest sizable city. There hadn't been any reported sightings here yet, but if the pattern continued, they would start appearing any day.
Alright, no more running around on a wild goose chase. We're gonna stay here until we find them.
And then what? They are dangerous.
I'm still working on that part.
We decided to spread out and took up separate positions on rooftops throughout the city. This would give us multiple good vantage points for wherever the creatures might appear. We kept watch throughout the night, but no luck. We called it quits once the sun began to rise and slept in for most of the day. And then in the evening, we prepared to go out again.
What's the news?
6 sightings last night that I could find. None in town, but 2 were pretty close. Tonight could be it.
Let's do this.
Same spots as last night?
Yeah, might as well.
We parted ways and returned to the same buildings from the night before. We started to keep watch, and just after midnight, my walkie-talkie finally went off.
I've got eyes on one. Faulkner, you should be able to see it from where you are. It's about halfway between us. Over.
Good catch. There's another one coming in behind it. Over.
Was that one of you? Over?
Faulkner?
Don't look at me. Over.
They got both of them.
We're not the only ones watching the sky. Over.
Damn it. Must be Ordo.
I saw the muzzle flash on the second shot. They're posted on another rooftop. Over.
How far?
A few blocks away. Over.
Lucas, meet me at Faulkner's position.
Great. This is just great. Okay, over and out. Mia and I raced through town as fast as we could, meeting Faulkner on the street below his vantage point. He led us down a few streets and pointed out the building where he had seen the muzzle flash. We made our way up the stairs and cracked the door to the roof. We saw 2 men dressed all in black. Sure enough, it was the Ordo. Mia raised her rifle and stepped out.
Stop what you're doing, right now.
Is that? Whoa! Easy there. Miss Miller, I thought that might be you.
Drop the guns.
You first.
Okay. Let's everybody just calm down. Valdemar, it's okay. They won't hurt us. Perhaps you 3 could extend us the same courtesy?
Well,
Not yet.
Lucas! And I don't know your friend's name, but it's a pleasure to meet you as well, sir.
what exactly is the plan now?
It's good to see you 2 again. I was worried when you went missing.
Sorry, come again. Worried?
After the Flatwoods encounter, you didn't even give us your 2 weeks.
Are you kidding me? I went into hiding because Delano tried to kill me.
We're not murderers. Delano was aiming for the Gray.
I told you so.
We're on a bit of a tight schedule, but could Lucas and I have a moment?
It's okay. I trust him.
Fine.
Lucas, I apologize, but there's been a huge misunderstanding.
Delano wasn't really trying to shoot me?
No, of course not. Is that why you left? You thought we wanted to kill you?
Well, yeah. We let the Gray escape. We smoked grenades on Delano. I was a deserter.
Deserter? This isn't the army. I will admit, you're lucky Delano's not here right now. He probably does still want to slug you. But we wouldn't kill you for any of that. We got HR.
Did Delano mention... Did he think I had powers? Because I don't.
He mentioned the possibility in his debriefing, but it certainly wasn't anything conclusive. But, again, it's not something we would have shot you for.
So, this whole time, were you guys not looking for me?
I mean, we would have liked to talk about the potential psychic business, maybe on an exit interview, but no. You could have just quit.
But Mia's grandfather, Norman, he went on the run too. The Order was after him ever since he left. In his journals, he even mentioned being friends with an agent that kept the rest of them off his trail.
Alright, listen. There's something else you probably don't know. Norman went on the run, yes, but OSG wasn't after him for leaving, or even for having powers.
They weren't?
During his time in OSG, Norman grew disillusioned with their methods. So, when he decided to leave, he sabotaged as much equipment as he could. Destroyed a lot of weapons, machines, gear. He didn't hurt anyone, but it cost OSG a fortune.
Oh.
That's why they were after him.
So, I can go home?
Sure can. Of course, we would like that debriefing. Get this psychic business sorted out.
What if they don't believe me?
Sir?
Right, is it time?
Yes, sir.
Time for what? Are you going to kill more of the Ahul?
Miss Miller, we already located the rest of the swarm. Our helos are corralling them this way as we speak. There's at least 24 of them. If you've been on this case, then you know how dangerous they are.
We can't let you do that. Faulkner.
Do you think we're the only team out here right now? I'm sorry, but there's no stopping this. Even if you stop the two of us, the other teams will take care of it.
Oh, fuck.
Tell you what, a truce? You let us handle this uninterrupted, and Lucas, I'll take care of everything with OSG. You don't have to worry about the debriefing.
Mia, come on, there's way too many of them. Monsters and agents. We're out of our depth. They are dangerous. You know we don't have another choice.
God damn it. Yeah, you're right. I still don't know how else we would stop them. At least we won't have to worry about the Ordo anymore.
Do we have a deal?
Deal.
Sure enough, we saw the flock appearing over the horizon, followed by one of the Ordo's all-black helicopters. Sawyer and his partner took aim and started firing. And they weren't the only ones. From the flashes I could see, there were at least 4 other teams stationed across town. There had been a lot of Ahul, but after only a few minutes, they were all gone.
Really? It was good to see you again. And, meet you. Miss Miller, I am sorry, but thank you for your cooperation. I'd love to stay and chat more, but we really need to get moving on cleanup. Take care of yourselves.
We stood around, silent for a moment, but there was nothing left to do. This case was well and truly over. So we made our way back to our rooms. I guess this means we won't be in need of your services anymore.
Yeah, I figured as much. Well, it was fun while it lasted. I'm gonna miss Fritz. You two weren't that bad either, I guess.
We hit the hay and slept through the rest of the night. The next morning, we all packed our things and prepared to go our separate ways.
We may not see eye to eye on a lot of things, or really anything, but you were a big help. Thank you.
You ever need me again, you know how to get in touch. You two heading back to the States then?
Yeah, we've been away for too long. What about you?
I'll have to think about that. See which way the wind takes me, you know?
I suppose we do know a thing or two about the transient lifestyle.
And Miller, make sure you two keep up your training. Knock some sense into Campbell when he needs it.
You bet.
Well, until next time.
Until next time.
Field notes. Ahul. The Ahul appeared to be some kind of gigantic bat. As best I could tell, they were covered in gray fur and had red wings. Their average wingspan appeared to be between 10 and 11 feet, which is obviously larger than any recorded bat species. Their heads also appeared much more wolf-like than bat-like. Given their overall appearance, they're most likely related to flying foxes, which are also indigenous to this region. Given all the reported attacks, these creatures were highly aggressive, which actually matches more closely with a lot of the Orang Bati folklore. I wonder if most of those stories were misattributions that actually came from Ahul encounters. Given two mysterious flying creatures in the same general vicinity, a mix-up like that wouldn't be too unreasonable. Now, according to legend, a swarm like this traveled across the region every 100 years or so. They almost certainly don't live that long, but some species of bugs can have migration patterns that take place over multiple generations. So I wonder if this might be something similar. They probably never crossed paths with too many humans. But now, with more people than ever, it was unavoidable. And they paid the price for it. End field notes.
The Cryptid Cases has been a production of Little Giant Monsters. Find out more about us at littlegiantmonsters.com and by searching for Little Giant Monsters on social media. Every Monday after a new episode, we share a cryptid sketch, so be sure to look out for that. If you're enjoying the Cryptid Cases and want to help support us, find us on Patreon. Rewards include behind-the-scenes content, early access to episodes, and access to our Discord. A huge thanks to all our current patrons. Links to our Patreon, our merch, and other shows we're creating are all available on our website or in the description of this episode. Another way to support our work is through ratings and comments on Apple Podcasts and other podcast apps. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again soon.